Welcome to the number one friendship podcast in the country. I'm Aaron Karo.
I'm Matt Ritter.
Guys, our Audible original is out now. Check it out at audible.com/the buddy system. The buddy system is this audio original that Matt and I recorded this year, which is basically every friendship tip you could ever need in a hilarious system that we wrote and recorded. And we're really excited about it. Matt, how are you feeling about it?
I feel great because it's going to hit everybody. If you are somebody who just moved to a new city and you're looking for friends, we got you covered. If you're somebody like me who just had a second kid and you feel like, whoa, where did all my friends go? We've got you covered. It's for making and maintaining friends and just, either starting from scratch or building on what you have. There's a little something for everybody, but it's all about the notion that being friends is really just about showing up.
And what I love about it is it takes like the best stuff from the pod, if you guys are regular listeners, and also new stuff we've never talked about before, but also kind of organizes it a little because, Matt, we've been known to do some stem winders. We've been known to get off topic, as the kids say.
Well, our listeners love it when we go off on our little tangents, as they say. But this audio original is a very clear roadmap. A lot of our listener questions are like, hey, I don't know what to do. I want to make friends, help me. And it's like a vague question. And we kept getting that. And we're like, okay, how can we put this all together in a way that you can just, okay, if you follow these steps, you will be in a really good shape with your friendships. And that's it. That's what the buddy system is.
And it's funny, this is not medicine. This is sugar. It's booze. It's bourbon.
We're in the self-help category, but they were shocked. They were like, they were listening to us record it. The Audible execs, the sound people are like laughing. They're like, I've never laughed before at a self-help audio.
So guys, go to audible.com/the buddy system. That's audible.com/the buddy system. And if you're actually not an Audible member yet, I believe you can get the book for free with your trial. So,
and if really you are, you get it free also. So it's every way you look at it, you're winning.
Right. If you're already an Audible subscriber, you can just use your credit to get the book, to get the audio original. I love it. Okay. One more time, audible.com/the buddy system. All right. So Matt, one of our most popular episodes of all time was episode 133, Friendship Myths. Because there's a lot of scuttlebutt. I don't think that's the right word going around about like how to do friendship right, what the rules are, what being a friend means. And we started debunking them. We're debunkers now. We're mythbusters.
Yeah. There's very little scuttlebutt going on around that for sure. That wasn't the right.
What
word.
Is scuttlebutt?
I think scuttlebutt is when there's a lot of like gossip around something, isn't it?
Yeah, I think scuttlebutt is,
up,
Yeah. Matt and I famously used the word peccadillos wrong for the first 2 years of the podcast, which I believe means sexual proclivities.
Yeah. So scuttlebutt is gossip. There's not a lot of gossip going on, but there is a lot of zeitgeisty convo happening around.
Yeah.
Friendship.
So this is our sequel to Friendship Myths Part 1. This is Friendship Myths Part 2.
A lot of people think sequels can't be as good as the original, but that's not true. If you ask, The Godfather.
You know what sequel? I know
Empire
this
Strikes Back.
You said Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
Yes. I know this is absolute blasphemy. Absolute blasphemy. But you know what sequel I really love? Die Hard 2.
Die Hard 2? Do you mean Die Hard 3 with Samuel Jackson?
No. I actually didn't like that one as much, which I know everyone loves that one.
You like the Christmas one, where they at the end where he says "Yippee-ki-yay, MFR."
Well, they say "Yippee-ki-yay" at the end of every movie, but I just thought the way he takes down the plane, he
that's
opens
pretty
the gas
cool with
cap.
The lighter fluid. I've always wanted to know, is that possible?
Oh yeah, I mean, why not? Why wouldn't it be possible? Seems pretty possible.
I just don't know. Like, can the fire go up in the air off the gas tank like that? Can the fire chase gas up in the air? Like, I don't know.
Also, Matt, do planes have gas caps like at a Chevron? You can just pop off?
Yeah. Can you just twist it off? I think they do. I think there's a right. There's an airport gas station and you're waiting in line with your plane and you have to stick your little giant nozzle in the thing. I think they do. Wow, that's a hot take. Because I think Die Hard 3, where you have to figure out 5 buckets, 5 gallons, 3 gallons, exactly 4 gallons.
Well, Die Hard 3 hits a lot of your Q zone, Matt, because you love Sam Jackson, who doesn't, and you love the word games, like 3 people walking the thing.
Yeah,
and,
yes.
Yeah. All right, so let's get to our first friendship myth. Okay. Myth number 1, friends should always take your side no matter what.
That's you're coming in hot.
That's why I put this one first.
I mean, I don't think that's true. Obviously, it's a myth, right? But do I think most people feel that way? Probably. Do you yourself also probably feel that way? Yes. You know what I mean? Like, it's funny because I think your default is, yeah, you should. I think it takes a layer of logic and reason, which a lot of people aren't using when it comes to emotional relationship stuff. It takes a logic and reason to go, okay, yeah, maybe they shouldn't always take my side.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a pretty blanket statement. I mean, always. Yeah. If I took your side every time, I'd be dead. Right. You'd be dead.
Right. But I think the notion behind it is that, hey, your friends are supposed to be loyal foot soldiers for you. Right. And like some people's mind, it's like, no, you go to bat if I'm, if this is important to me and, or somebody's wronged me, you got to take my side. I think it comes, well, first of all, let's talk about where it comes up. Comes up usually where it's like somebody has wronged me or I'm mad at somebody and I feel betrayed by somebody. And they have to be your sworn enemy too, right? Isn't that sort of what it is sometimes?
That I think actually we're going to get to that. It's a later myth.
Oh, okay.
I think this is more, either there's a dispute happening.
Yeah.
Or you have an idea. You have one of your ideas.
Right. Well, I think this is more what you're saying. The first part, dispute. Like I just like, I'm getting screwed over on this deal, or my landlord, or something, and you're like, well, do you owe the landlord rent money? And you're like, you're supposed to be my friend.
I think that you do not do your friend any service if you're got their back. I mean, that's a yes man, which we've talked about, which is not good. I would say I would change this to be your default should be taking their side. But,
yes.
But that position can change under, the circumstances. Like I like
the idea of tweaking these myths into rephrases.
Yeah, your default should always be, well, your buddy's right, but then you're not doing him any service if you're just telling them what they want to hear.
Yeah, you don't want to. You want. It's good to have one yes man in your crew.
I was thinking about this, Matt. As we're recording this a couple weeks in advance. As we're recording this, Taylor Swift's about to launch her new album.
Uh-huh.
Do you think like anybody gives her like notes on the songs?
No, and this is why big directors have 4-hour movies now. Because they believe in that myth.
That they're always right.
That their friends should always take their side. They're like, hey, you want to see my 6-hour cut of the Civil War movie? Yeah, I do. No notes.
Yeah. So, I mean, I bet you like the guy, like her main Jack Antonoff maybe gives her a note or two, but like when she shows it to her team, are they like, oh, I didn't like track 4? I mean, she's Taylor Swift.
They have to do it very gently, delicately. And there's one person they trick into telling her, and then that person gets fired.
Right. Exactly.
It's like the old king. This is like the old, royal court where it's like, is somebody going to tell the king? And it's like, right. Oh yeah, no, he trusts you. You tell him. And then the next week at court, that person is no longer there, and you just see somebody else wearing their necklace.
I think another way to phrase this would be a friend who gives you real talk is actually a pretty valuable friend.
Yes. All right, I like this one. What do you got next? What's next?
Okay. Myth number 2. Once you drift apart with someone, you can never reconnect.
That is one of the biggest issues our listeners have. A lot of our listeners want to reconnect with somebody, and they always just say, I think it's too late. And
Well,
you know
can
our
we all,
mantra, never too late.
okay, it's never too late. And also, as we say in our Audible original, the buddy system, most guys have falling offs, not falling outs.
Yeah.
Like,
there usually wasn't some big dramatic fight. You just let life get in the way. And now,
yeah.
if you're feeling that you have the time and energy to put into it, and I think that's more the thing, is that if you're feeling that you want to reconnect with somebody that you're drifting to, then make the commitment and it'll work.
Well, Matt, you also described the idea that the longer you go without talking to one of your buddies, it gets exponentially difficult to reconnect.
So true. So true what I say. So true. No, but it does. Look, and it does feel daunting. I want to acknowledge this one's hard, right? It is a myth because it's like, okay, to make it not a myth, you got to put a little work into this one. If you have drifted with somebody, as long as you're a little self-aware, Karo is the self-awareness king. He's worried that people aren't being self-aware enough at all times. And so Karo would be worried about you that you aren't, make sure you put your finger on why you're no longer close.
No, but Matt, your thing is always, who cares?
Well, no, I'm saying if you're not meant to be friends is what I'm saying. It's there's, like if you're not close because the other person doesn't want to be friends with you, then
Oh
there's
yeah,
the possibility of that too.
but I think it's fair to say for our listeners, our dude listeners, 90% of the time they just stop talking for no reason.
Yeah, for no reason. That's the thing. 90% no reason. 5% they hate the person. 5% that person's probably no longer with us. You should check on them.
And here's the advice that we actually give in the buddy system, which is that when you send the text, you can acknowledge that it's been a minute, but you shouldn't litigate it.
Don't dwell, don't litigate. Don't dwell, don't litigate, don't rehash.
So in other words, it's like, oh, it's been a minute. Hey, would love to get a drink. Don't say it's been a minute, but I didn't hear from you, and then I blah blah blah. Like, it's irrelevant.
Yeah.
So this is definitely a myth. Once you drift apart, you can reconnect.
Yes.
We've heard many of our listeners who have done that.
But you have to make a commitment to it. I have to say, you have to make a commitment, or you will just be still drifting along.
A commitment to actually be friends now and keep in touch.
Yeah, because if you make the plan to reconnect, that's not it. You haven't done all the work. If you're just like, hey, I got back together with this person for a beer.
Yeah.
No, that's the beginning now. Now you're back at the beginning of, are we going to commit to a regular and consistent hangout?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Myth number 3. This is rehashing one of our most fiery topics. You could only have one best friend.
Well, you know where I stand on this.
Well, you said you were evolving. You said it was a teachable moment.
I did.
So can we just in an episode? I'll have to look up the episode number. We talked about whether, the idea of having a best friend, is that important? Is that a real thing? Matt's take was it's juvenile, and he says it like that, juvenile, many times. And then you started to walk that back, I felt like, at some point.
Yeah, no, I think I like anytime you're going to sort of delineate people in a positive way, I'm for it. Just as long as it's not to the exclusion of others. I was against ranking your close friends. I think you can have more than one best friend. I think it's a threshold. It's like kind of a pyramid, right? And at each threshold, if you want to, you can delineate, acquaintance, friend, close friend, inner circle, besties.
And also for our listeners, that was episode 28. You could hear me and Matt argue about best friends.
Where do you stand now?
Well, let me answer to you first. You can definitely have more than one best friend. And I think I've evolved a little bit too. Also, gosh, if you have more than one best friend, wow, like your cup runneth over. We should only be so lucky.
Right. Yeah, because people are always like, "Oh, I don't have a huge crew." Like I hear you guys talking about what a great crew. It's like, no, if you have one or two people that you can count on, that you can communicate with, that you can be yourself with, that make you feel good about yourself, you're winning.
I think that I've actually taken a sort of I've combined both of our outlooks from that episode 28, Matt, which is that I do believe in the value of calling someone your best friend, but I also believe that that designation should be broadened to not as many people as possible, to several people.
That was where I was coming from. I was like, there could be room at the top for a couple folks in your life.
Yeah. And you can also qualify with he's one of my best friends, just throw best friend in there.
Yeah.
Do you want to say something
No,
else
I was
about
actually
this?
thinking about that because I texted Dr. Dave last year when my buddy Dan here broke his wrist.
Yeah.
And I wanted his special care. So I was like, he's one of my closest friends out here. He's like, oh no, I said he's one of my BFFs.
Yeah.
And he goes,
you said that about Dan.
Yeah, to Dave. He's like, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, West Coast, like you're obviously my OG BFFs. He's like, no, I just think it's funny you're using BFF at all in a text.
And as I've said many times about our friend Dr. Dave, you text him and be like, hey, X needs a medical opinion. He always writes back, absolutely.
I know. It's unbelievable.
The
guy.
Should we take a listener question?
Let's do it.
All right, we'll be right back. Okay, guys, this is Asking for a Friend. If you have a friendship question or ethical dilemma, send it to us on Instagram. We love to hear from you. Our handle is @Man of the Year Podcast. We love our messages. And also, if you have a sensitive question, you want us to anonymize it, we're happy to do that. Okay, so Matt, this question is kind of about like stages of life, which we love talking about. Hey, Matt and Karo, I always believed that friends needed to be in the same life stage or have the same outlook in order to be close. Like they're both single, or they're both parents, or they're both super career focused. But my best friend's life is starting to look completely different from mine now. And I'm worried that gap means we won't be able to connect like we used to. Is this a myth, or do friendships really depend on being totally aligned?
That's a tough one. I have conflicting thoughts already in my head about this. Because you and I are in different phases, and we stay close. But I will say, friendships evolve. They're meant to evolve. Friendships, really, really close friendships, are meant to be flexible and pliable to allow for the fact that you're not always in the same stages. Okay? Because if you can only be friends, with people in your stages, then you're just shedding potentially best friends all the time. And I don't think that's our goal, right? But I will acknowledge it is harder when people are in different stages of life to maintain the same rhythm that you had. That doesn't mean you can't maintain the same closeness. You just have to allow for this friendship to not be the same thing it was, time-wise, get together, like all those things. You have to give yourself the freedom to kind of shake it up in your head and go, okay, this person's my best friend for life. We're in a different phase. We may not see each other as much for the next, couple of years, but let's figure out a way to maintain something strong that keeps the foundation solid. What do you think about that?
Also, for our new listeners, just to clarify, Matt is the father of 2 boys, married. I'm single as a bird. Matt's a real boy dad and a real wife guy.
That's fair. You said it with a bit of a hinge, but I accept. What does wife guy mean? Hold on. What is it? Is it a smear, wife guy? What does that mean?
Well,
it's not. I was about to accept it, but then I was like, wait, is there a smear in there? What does that mean? Is that like cuck adjacent?
The guy from the Try Guys was a real wife guy.
Okay, I don't know.
Yeah, he was.
I don't post about my wife every day.
It was more of a joke.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love my
But
wife. I don't know if that makes me a wife guy, so be it.
well, Matt, you don't like when I say anything with guy. Like, are you a pizza guy? You a wife
Yeah,
guy?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Matt doesn't like to be painted with a broad brush.
Yeah, because I never know exactly where you're going. It's like, well, who else is in that bucket? That bucket of crabs trying to crawl out. Anyway, so go on with what you were saying about us.
Yeah, I think that friendships need to be malleable. Like you were saying, like, I mean, even people who are aligned are never going to have. People get sick, people move, people get fired. Even under the best intentions, you're never going to be totally aligned.
Yeah.
Like,
And I think that, look, the two biggest ones are you moved and now you're not even in the same city. So you're definitely not
yeah,
aligned. And two is like, hey, okay, one person had kids and has a whole different, schedule of priorities and stuff. But you need to remember it's a two-way street friendship. And so if you're the one, Karo talked about this, like if you're the one who had the kid, like don't forget about don't just assume your single friends have no interest in that part of your life.
right, exactly. We were talking about birthday parties, and Matt was saying, "Do I invite Karo? He doesn't have kids." And I was like, "No, you can invite me, and probably maybe I won't come, but sometimes I do." It's about making assumptions about the other person.
Yeah. And God knows what Karo's doing on the weekends. He never calls me anymore, but he could.
Yeah, yeah. Listen, I'm doing my own thing. I'm living my life while you're with all your wife guys and your
He's
boy
in a
dads
run
and your
club.
girl
He's in
dads.
like 6 different run clubs.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of run clubs. I think that also I'm just trying to do something that's maybe not kid related. You could get some crazy promotion, and now all of a sudden you're just like on some other track.
Yeah. I have a friend who got a major job opportunity, and she was basically like, I'm not even going to see my family for a while. So like friends are, that's the thing. That's a reality for a lot of people. But look, I think about friendship as, if you want to stay friends with somebody, you can always make some sort of semblance of time, even if that's a coffee quarterly, right? We talked about TCS, text call see. That's our rubric. That's text weekly, see monthly. No, sorry,
No.
call monthly. Sorry, text weekly, call monthly, see quarterly IRL. If you're doing that, you're going to stay close.
Yeah, and I think I don't know. There's something quite I don't know beautiful about an evolving friendship.
Yeah,
Like
yeah. If you can survive it and thrive in it, that's a testament to you guys not being at the same phase every day. You're not in the same college, you're not in the same dorm room, you're not in the same apartment co-living, you're not living side by side with your kids next door, and you're still maintaining that. Kudos.
yeah, and then you get to look back on all the different phases and haircuts and ups and downs. It's cool. It's fun.
I need a haircut. I gotta call Barber Shane.
Shane the barber. Um, okay, I think we answered that, right?
Yeah.
All right, guys. If you have a listener question, send it to us on Instagram, Man of the Year Podcast. Okay, let's get back into the myths. Myth number 4: friends should always be available whenever you need them.
Well, as we know, nobody was available on the birth of my child in the middle of the night.
To be
Called
clear,
30
I was
people.
available. Matt just didn't call me.
And I just didn't know that if you call twice, it breaks. What does it do? I still don't know how it works.
If you call from the same, well, it's a setting. If you call twice from the same number, it'll break through Do Not Disturb.
Right. And Jesse and I both alternated calls to you.
Unbelievable.
But Karo
Unbelievable.
still ended up showing up and took care of our baby boy, while our other baby was getting delivered in the hospital.
Yes. And so, listen, this is a blanket statement. Friends should always be available whenever you need them. I mean, let's start with that as the default. We've talked many times in the podcast. Sometimes friends are in crisis and you can't always be there for them. Or, we've talked about friendship vampires, people who are just always pulling, need stuff from you, and it's not a one-way street. So I think it's nuanced.
Do a lot of people feel this way? That their friends should be there whenever they need them?
I mean, the word whenever is doing a lot of work there. I mean, like, you know.
Jeez Louise, whenever you need me, I'm not going to be there for you if it's after 9 p.m. I'm telling you that right now.
Right. And you won't give anyone a ride to the airport. That's your thing.
It's not my thing. That's every adult's thing. My mom is flying in today, and you know how she's getting here? Uber Black.
Really? You're not picking your mom up?
No, she doesn't expect me to or want me to. I'm doing the pod with you. It was one or the other. Which one do you want?
Yeah. All right. Well, okay. Well, in that case, I'm glad, but I always pick my folks up.
Listen, I will if she's like, "Hey, will you pick me up?" But she doesn't. Honestly, it's just easier for us. I mean, I gotta go pick up Brenner from school in an hour. Yeah. Like the timing of it is chaotic.
Also, oh God, picking someone up
now people are gonna be like, "What a bad son." I call my mom.
No. Well, listen, Uber Black. Just to be clear, Uber Black, you don't have to walk to the thing. It just picks you up at the curb.
That's what I'm saying. To be clear, she just gets outside and she's in and she's off to the races.
But also, I mean, picking someone up at LAX is like a nightmare.
Yeah, total. So anyway, back to the myth.
I think you should endeavor to be there for your friends whenever they need them within reason.
If your friend is in crisis, you should be there for them. If your friend's going through some stuff, you should be there for them. As a default, I agree with that, you know. But everybody's busy. Everybody has, things going on. It's very hard. But here's the other part. And this is maybe something important for this myth. We say this all the time. Your friends aren't mind readers. So a lot of times you think your friend wasn't there for you. And when you needed them in your, moment where you needed somebody and you didn't convey it properly that you really needed them.
And I would say at one of my favorite bugaboos, not even right, incorrect use of the word, is like you said earlier, practice radical self-awareness. Are you calling this person? Are you bothering this person? Do you need this person? Like, are you being unreasonable when you're asking for help?
I've had a bit of a one-sided thing lately that I've just been dealing with. I won't get into now, but it's like, people know I'm always there for them. So it's like, but don't take advantage of that.
Yeah.
I'm getting slightly taken advantage of at the moment, but I'm just like letting it go. It's fine.
All right, let's do one more quick one. Myth number 5: friends should like all the same people you do.
This one, I get heated sometimes when somebody says things about people that I like and they don't like. Bothers me. Are they allowed to do it? Yeah.
Friends
do you want them to like? Do you want them to in an ideal world? Yeah. Is that reality? No.
Yeah, friends should like. I mean, that's impossible. Friends should like all the same people that you do. I mean, it comes into play.
You want your friends to like your other friends.
Yeah.
And what do you do if they don't? And that's the issue. It's like, do you demand that, they like your friends or that they don't like somebody you don't like, or whatever? Is it like, do you have to not like somebody if your friend doesn't like them? Kind of the flip side of this. Because I think that's more of the myth. I think that's more of the myth. Like, if I don't like somebody, you have to not like them. Is that true of friends? Is that required in adult friendship?
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about this in the past.
We said it depends on the line that was crossed.
Yeah. It depends on my relationship. I think it's all on a situational basis, but I just think it's something to keep in mind. If you have some sort of enemy or someone who's wronged you and I have to work with them or I don't have that same relationship with them, I could still interact with them. I'm not going to rub it in your face.
Right. I think people get upset when they feel you're going out of your way to be friends with somebody that has wronged somebody else.
Right. And as far as liking everybody that you like, I mean, this is like classic worlds colliding when you bring together two groups and that. Yeah.
If you want to do that, you should make the effort. I realized that one of my friends wasn't invited to another friend's birthday thing. And I was kind of surprised. I only found out after the fact because I thought I had introduced them like enough so that they would have been. And I was like, oh man, that's a shame. Like, do they not? And then I asked each of them about it and they're like, oh man, I love that guy. And I'm like, oh.
Wait, you talking about me?
No. It's not you.
Because, I did forget I totally forgot to invite Dan to my birthday, and it was just a
no, but a similar thing like that.
yeah.
And I was like, oh, I think I need to do a better job. If that's happening, then that's on me as the connector to get them together a few more times.
Yeah, I love that. I did add Dan to my social universe, my spreadsheet of friends. So next year I won't
There you
forget.
go. You'll be in. I love it. I love it.
Those are our myths, Matthew.
I think if you are somebody who has these ideas about what friendship, is in your head, and maybe some of them you're struggling with, you might want to just take a look at these myth lists and see if some of yours are on here.
One more plug, guys, go to audible.com/the buddy system to check out our Audible original, The Buddy System, A Modern Man's Guide to Mastering Friendship. And just because we didn't talk about it, go to manoftheyearpodcast.com to get merch. All right, guys, thank you so much for listening. Always remember, be good to yourself, be good to your friends. Love you, buddy.
Love you, buddy.